EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. And they're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. Taking it about the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Jameis now on first down. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot, forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
They go play action. Winston. He'll have a first down past the 40 as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On first and 10, Winston. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 18 yards on each of the last 2 plays, and they're picking up big chunks now. So a first and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 38.
And they'll run for the first time with Najee Harris.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Third and short yardage, Winston.
That's swung out wide to Harris.
And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. On the give, this is Harris. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's Winston. It's brought in by Harris. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That catch good for only a couple.
And that's all about recognition right there, because he's got to go from pass rush mode to pursuit mode, what defensive line coaches like to call retracing. And he's able to retreat and make the tackle for just a short gain.
On second down, this is Harris. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal. Here's Winston. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
It hasn't been a real good start to this game from a defensive perspective, but now after the incompletion on 2nd down, things may be changing. If they can come up with one more play, they might be able to get out of it with just a field goal attempt.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This is caught. A big play, but still not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. Going with a big fullback run. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the campaign and 4th overall. And the Steelers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Extra point put through by Boswell. And it's now a 7-0 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. First carry for Nick Chubb. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Throwing on 2nd and 3, Mayfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And a return across midfield into the 46-yard line. So, CD, his very first pass of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know that's a major surprise for any quarterback because, look, let's face it, no one thinks about throwing interceptions. But think about all the warm-up that we saw, right? Every pass he threw wasn't a single interception because, oh, that's right, there were no defenders out there. A little bit different when there's live guys out there chasing the football.
The linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, on the tackle.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Throwing, Winston.
And hitting Juju on the slant.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. They hand this off to Harris. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They run for it with Harris. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. So he needed 1. He ended up getting 3.
And I really like the way he ran that one, too. That's really intelligent running because oftentimes a running back can get too greedy. Try and hit the home run on a play where you just need a few yards. Well done there, making sure you got the first down and not worrying about trying to get a touchdown.
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and he can't do it all on one throw.
The Browns drive about to get started. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
He'll get this one complete to Davis. And he's going to be marked down short of the first down. Needed the 40, but he's a yard or 2 shy. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Here's Corey Bojorquez now. And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. So what a call there. They get 9 on the fake punt and a first down. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move, but oftentimes it's a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands, and he's able to pick up the first down.
And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb, running right through it, and taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Well, partners, my old man used to say, make sure you strap up tight if you're going to try and stop one of those big horses out there. As you just saw there, this guy does not go down easily.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. He's got the first down here inside the 30 and all the way down to the 25-yard line. That toss play right, we know it's one of the successful plays they have in their arsenal, and they showed you why there.
And remember, in order for it to be successful, because it's a little bit of a slower developing play, those blocks at the line of scrimmage have to be kept, have to be held, so that the runner can get to the corner and turn it upfield.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a
touchdown, Browns. Anthony Schwartz with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And we are tied here in the second quarter. So I'll leave it at 7 now as they kick it away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not not going to. We still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. And Harris is not going to get there. Great work defensively to stop him short. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Here's Presley Harvin now. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And, Charles, what a battle this is within the division, because these guys, they've got the lead, but not by much. On the other side of the field, they're knocking on the door and trying to equal them in the wins category.
And I love that second part that you talked about, equaling them in the wins category, because if somehow you get down to the end of the year and they're tied in record, head-to-head's always the first tiebreaker. So the winner of this game, they'll have a big advantage.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A big play that time for Cleveland. Sometimes the one-handed catches are unnecessary, but he was trying to ward off the defender with the other, so maybe that was just a good play.
So that tells you that not only do they imagine those types of catches, they actually work on them with defenders jostling them in order to keep their concentration and haul it in.
They'll run with Chubb. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Browns have taken the lead.
So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory.
43 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They run with Harris. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
On first down, Harris. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
A big play there on the screen pass.
Oh, I think we all understand his disappointment. Didn't quite get to the end zone, and you know it's just got to be tough to see a yard line underneath you after a play like that. Still, all in all, a huge play, and now they're set up 1st and goal at the 1.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Harris. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
Najee Harris.
His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Boswell good with the extra point. And we are tied here in the second quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first-round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Mayfield looks to throw. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one good for 21 yards. And it'll be 2nd and 10. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half.
Swings this out for Hunt.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This from 54 yards away. Gay's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. From his end zone, Isaiah McKenzie. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
He's crashing. He's checking crash. Check, 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 check. Check 4, check 4. Check 3, check 3, check 3.
Second down, here's Chubb again.
They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1.
Check, hey, alert, 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 alert. Hey, alert 33.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Play fake. Mayfield. Out to his left. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Hunt. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Mayfield. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
And he's got the hook up to Landry. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
It's got to be so tough having the ball in the middle of the field like that, knowing that a linebacker is just waiting to make a big tackle like we just saw.
Oh, no doubt about it, because offense coordinators love to call plays to send receivers into the middle of the field. And linebackers, they want to naturally discourage those plays from being called.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense get a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. A run for Nick Chubb. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Second down and 8. A give. This is Chubb. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
Now that's a play to applaud, because these RPOs, things happen so quickly. And that ball's out of the quarterback's hands fast. He read it and reacted and was there to hit him as the ball arrived at the receiver. Big-time read, big-time play.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Open man completes it to Claypool. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, Winston. He gets it complete to Harris. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That catch good for only a couple.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
From the 45 on second down, Winston. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
To the air again with Winston. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down.
That's an excellent play by the Defender, he diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
The Steelers send out their punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Browns drive about to get started. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down, and he's able to get up here to the 26.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Open man here, Schwartz, complete.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw, Mayfield. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Mayfield to throw it. They'll run on 1st down. It's Harris. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On 2nd and 7, Winston. And his throw here's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion. Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Desperation time. Winston on 4th down.
Well, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked off around the 27, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Another important fourth-quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. Chubb on 1st down, not going to go anywhere as he'll lose 3 on that one. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Mayfield. Flushed out right. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Boy, tight game like this, 4th quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And now this one may draw a penalty. He just blindly threw that one to the sideline. And yep, indeed, the flag is out. They lose the yardage, and of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Throwing, Mayfield gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the 1st down marker. The Browns send out their punter now as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. Yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. 7 yards, the pickup there.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. They're going for it. This is Harris. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
So did you suspect the same thing that I did, that they were lining up just to draw him offsides here?
100%.
Well, how about that? They were going for it the entire time. Never a question in his mind about going ahead and getting it, despite where they were on the field.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard it in my voice when they snapped him. And Winston lost the football. And I think the Browns got it. They did. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right, so if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the
touchdown. Austin Hooper, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Browns add on to their fourth quarter lead, and they are on their way to improving to 8-2. We talk so often about how hard it is to win in the NFL when you turn the ball over, and here a late turnover leads to a fourth quarter touchdown and a 2-score lead.
And what's more important is being able to take advantage when a turnover presents itself. You've got to come up with points to make the other guy pay. They're able to do so here, and they've got a pretty good chance now of winning this football game.
Extra point by Gay is up and good, and the lead now stands at 13. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as these guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end, but now it's third down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
On third down, Winston. That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now Winston. He finds his man, complete. That's Harris. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll make it a second down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And this Browns defense coming to life. They get him behind the line for a second straight play. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down. Winston from the gun on third down. He's got a man open. It's Chase Claypool. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Winston's throw here taken in by Ingram. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Jameis to throw it. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Again, it's Winston. And Ingram hauls it in.
And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
So another third down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Ooh, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. They'll try and run with Harris. And he takes this one into the end zone. And all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Extra point now by Boswell. And the lead will shrink to 6. So there is still time. A little over 50 seconds to go, but this becomes a critical onside kick. This is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. And again, it's Chubb. And he'll go down at the 28. 59 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy 1st down conversion. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. This to make it a 2-score game. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will make this a 9-point lead. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And they've got to feel good about this performance. I think you'd agree, matched up against a top 5 defensive unit in the league, and they pretty much had their way.
Yeah, that was the interesting part about it, because normally when we see this defense play, they have their opportunities, and they make their plays, don't they? They knock them back on their heels. They take the ball away. They change field position. In this case, what you said is so apt. They had their way with them, took it to them, and knocked them back on their heels and surprised the heck out of them.
So for Cleveland, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they'll have another home date next week as the Miami Dolphins come to town. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.